Yeah. Uh-huh.
Peace, queens and kings. Welcome back to my channel. Here we are with another week, episode 7 of Married at First Sight, season 13. Michaela, I'm speechless. All I could say, sis, is those what's those Clorox wipes, Lysol wipes, did absolutely nothing to you, sis. Get it together. Okay. Had to do that little side note PSA to my girl out there, but we're gonna leave her towards the end. Anyway, before we get started, please definitely comment. I want your feedback, especially with this episode. And subscribe, share with your friends, and so we can get on here and have a little kiki and talk about these characters, okay? Click that notification bell so you won't miss out on the next video. Now, we are going to hop right in here with one who, you know, I always say, I go from the least on up when it comes to content for the week. Now, we're going to get in here with Brett and Ryan. Okay, everybody is back home. I have to say this to whether it's Lifetime, the Married at First Sight brand, you did good with these apartments. I like these apartments with the balcony. You can see. I think it's better than the last seasons when it comes to apartments. Even our girl Merla was impressed, but seeing Miss Prima Donna's place, I could see why she didn't think it was so bad, but we'll leave that for there. Anyway, yes, it was definitely nice seeing everybody get back home, really get to find out some more dynamics to them outside of the honeymoon. I think that honeymoon, you know, took a little too long. So Brett and Ryan, they get back home and we get introduced to the dogs. What's the dog's name? Baxter. Baxter, little friendly dog. I love Baxter, and the great thing about these two is that their dogs look like family, right? One was big and fluffy, Ryan's, and Brett's little dog, absolutely friendly. Loved Ryan. I definitely love these dogs. I think Baxter stole the show this episode. Absolutely adorable. A little feisty thing because you know, once the dogs got together, I don't know. I think Baxter doesn't like too much of his space invaded. Like, what's going on? I'm the star of the show. You know, it's all about me. Now, Mom, you got married. I said nothing about I had to, like, you know, be friends with anybody. I had to come together with anyone. So it's a little feisty tale. I had to get back in the car. Brett was a little nervous with the dogs. But usually, you know, those who are the little ones always have the most fire, right? Kind of like the master. I think Pat packed a punch. Ryan's dog was a little chill, laid back, right? Like his father. So they were absolutely cute. Now, they get their things together. Excuse the motorcycle. They get their things together. Brett's ready to pack all her stuff. You know, Ryan's basically saying, you know what? You're not by yourself anymore. Some of that stuff stay behind. Just get enough for the next 2 months, which I get because your space is not just for you anymore, Brett. But yeah, I got that. They went over to her place, very homey. I think her place was really cute. It was really family oriented. You got to see pictures with her family and friends. You know, it had some color in it. Even Ryan was like, I like it. You know, it's colorful. You know, I think I need color in my life. And yes, you do, Ryan. You need some color in your life, bro. Okay? Now, yeah, so it was cute. And I like color. when it comes to my place, I have every room is a different color. That was me in my last apartment. I like, you know, personality and vibes, your own style. So you can really see that in Brett's place. Now, fast forward to Ryan's beautiful home. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the high ceilings, the stairs, the next level. It was a beautiful place. But it was Ryan, you know, it was neutral, no colors, beige, tan, brown, basic, ranch hand man apartment. I think it was gorgeous. Needs more life, needs more, you know, just family, homely environment. Like he said, yeah, it does need more color. So it needs that woman's touch. But I think he had overall a beautiful place. Now, get up to his bedroom. Deer head in your bedroom? I believe it was the bedroom, right? Type in the comments if I was right. The bedroom, like, why do you want to wake up and see a dead animal's head over your bed or in front of you, wherever in the room when you wake up, is beyond me. She was not feeling that. I don't blame her. I don't want to see any dead animals. I think he even joked if Baxter got out of hand on his nerves. She was like, I don't want to see my dog up on the wall. He had this little smirk on his face. I'm like, don't even think about it, Ryan. But yeah, so they had that total difference. You can see their personalities in their apartments, for sure. But she wasn't vibing with the animals, but that's what he does. He's a country guy, you know, all about the ranch and that kind of thing. So I don't know if she's going to get past that, but you got a country boy. So hope that works out. Now we get with Pastor Cal. I get so excited when the experts come. Any of you who know me know on this show, I love me some Pastor Cal. Pastor Cal is no nonsense. You know, he comes straight, even though he's coming from that, you know, faith perspective, the spirituality, the foundation. He's grounded, but he's real with it. You know what I'm saying? I love how, you know, he talks to the men and the women and, you know, unbiased, but he really studies. He really listens, and he gets down to the nitty gritty, and he asks those questions that some may not want to ask, and he pulls stuff out of you may not necessarily want to say. He did that with all the couples, that episode. But he spoke to them about how they feel about one another and how they're gelling, and they both expressed that they're comfortable with one another. He said things to her that she never mentioned to Pastor Cal, things that she said she didn't hear before, so that made her feel good. And one of the things that I really appreciated, I don't know why, there's certain things with Brett, for some reason, I seem to connect to. I don't know, as far as personalities are concerned. And when she said something about, it really touched me. She mentioned to Pastor Cal how, when he asked how does she feel about Ryan, she said she likes the fact that he takes care of everybody around him. And that makes her feel good, because now she knows she doesn't have to be the one to do everything. She has somebody basically depend on, someone, you know, she doesn't have to take the lead all the time. I forgot her specific words, but I got that. I got that, to be able to have someone now where you can breathe, doesn't mind stepping up, doesn't mind helping, feels like a caretaker, like he'll protect you, and really just take some of that burden off your shoulders. I get it, especially, you know, as a single divorced mom, you know, 3 children. I knew how it was, you know, really taking care of a lot for a long period of time. I had one before I was married, and then when I got married, you know, almost 9 years, and then divorced, and then, you know, my children were still fairly young, so it was a lot on me. And it'd be great to one day, you know, find that significant other in the love of your life who can take some of that weight off you, make you feel comfortable and good, and you see how they also treat other people that's around them. So I'm glad that, you know, Ryan has that trait to make her feel that way. So I appreciate that. Now, when it comes to saying how you feel, that's something that Brett is hard, you know, to do when it comes to feelings. You could tell it was hard for her to say that love. She, you know, they said they can see it going past the like, you know, a strong like, but, you know, Ryan said he's not at love. Pastor Cal asked him what is it to, what is being in love? Have you been in love before? And he said, yeah, I think so. And he said, well, what is that? He said, when, you know, I really feel something for someone, where I think of them more than I think of myself. You know, wanting something more for someone is very sacrificial. You know, it's not selfish when you're putting someone else's needs before your own. And I think that was a really good way to sum that up, because when you're in love, you think about that person. You really care about their well-being, and your hope is reciprocated. But when you're no longer so self-centered and you're able to open and give to someone else. So Pastor Cal said, do you feel that way about Brett? And he said, no, not yet. He was honest. I don't know what that look on her face was, if she felt kind of bad, or, you know, after he said it, or maybe that was for drama's sake. You know how some of these shows can be. But I appreciated the honesty. I would have looked at him sideways if he said, yes, this is how I feel. Even if she said that, I think she may be feeling more closer to him. Maybe at this point a little more than he is with her. I don't know. But remember, this is only 1 week. It's only been 1 week. You can't say you know, hardly know anything about these people yet, let alone in love. So I don't think that is realistic. So I wasn't mad for him saying that. I'm glad he was really honest with it. And it's going to take time. But, you know, from what I see right now, they're comfortable at the point where they think that it's progressing. And it may get there eventually. What did I want to make sure I don't forget anything? Yeah. So I think that was about it with that. They're on that journey. And hopefully it can continue to progress with them outside of the total different lifestyles. I think in the weeks ahead, we'll see how their beliefs will start to unravel more, and more their personality as they start to gel throughout their day-to-day lives, and see how things go. Now, we are going to get into good old Jose and Rachel. Let me tell you something. Jose, you know, you a good dude. I ain't gonna say that you not. I think you a good man who waited, like I said before, to prepare for his wife to be. But you gotta understand, and I'm glad that they have someone that's totally different from them. I thought in the beginning there may be a lot of similarities. Now I'm starting to see a lot of differences. You need to chill, Jose. You needed somebody to balance you out. It's one thing to want all your ducks in a row and have your list checked on certain things that you want. All of us have a list sometimes on who we want, how we want them, how we want our lives, all this progression. But God will surprise you real quick and show you his sense of humor, because what you plan, he laughs at it, basically, because it will not go out the way you totally plan, especially with life. A lot of times we really don't know what we may know, what we think we know what we want, but we don't really know what we need. And it's one thing to build and prepare financially. You can have all the money in the world and be miserable. You know, if you prepared yourself with a great credit score, you know, for the home, it's, you know, that credit score will help you accomplish a lot of things, of which you already have. You have your savings in order. You have a good, you know, profession or your job. You have a home already, or homes, I think you mentioned. You have everything that you basically want. You just didn't have your wife to share that with you. What's the point of getting to this place when you're not having any enjoyment with them? You're going to say down the street at San Antonio, Texas, a little while, that's your idea of a vacation over going to Switzerland or Japan or anywhere else out the country. Thank God they, you know, I guess they took you to Florida for your honeymoon on the show, because I guess that was a real humdinger of an exciting vacation for you, because you like to keep it local. You have to live Jose, it doesn't matter. Life is too short if you're not living it. Have excitement. Do things sometimes spontaneous. It's just you and your wife. You have no children. And this is where Rachel comes in to give you that balance out of being so rigid. Well, anyway, now they meet. They go into their place. They pretty much like the setup of their new apartment they're going to have at home. Now they're going to visit each other's place. Now, when you go to Jose's place, this is the same thing that she was afraid of when you're moving into someone else's space. He was so, he went, let me see. He went on and on about every room, every little probably piece of furniture. This is this, this is that. What he want to do? I want a pool. I want to put up this. I want to, you know, this is my this is my this. I want this. I want that. Jose, you married now. Your wife has a say and should in what it is that you want to do to your home to help her feel like she's a part of it. What he should have said is, sweetheart, look at our new home. Ours, not my, this is my, this, my, this. That's the problem. You still possessive, and you're going to make her feel like she's not a part of that house. You're going to make her feel like she doesn't have a say because you want to control everything. When she saw that board with those finances up there, he was like, oh, you got something like this, right? She was like, I don't have that. I just got a calendar with some stuff on it. No, I ain't got that. I don't live like that. She was free and single to do what she liked. Now, she may not have been the best when it came to money, but Rachel liked to live, you know. So, yeah, all of that bragging and boasting about what you have, that's great. That's great, Jose. You was running your mouth a little too much. This poor woman was probably like, but I didn't hear you make it feel like it's now your home. You know, she's a part of it. This is ours. You know, maybe you can give me some ideas on how to switch up something. What would you like to do in this room? What? I didn't see that. It was all his lineup, his vision. So I see that selfishness, and you got to check yourself with that, Jose. You're going to lose her quick. Yeah, make it our now and stop saying so much why. So they move over to Rachel's place. Now, unlike looking at a place where you want to get to know her, when he came into her apartment, you should try to find her personality, get to learn about that person from what you see in their apartment, maybe, or their home. Maybe, you know, you don't learn, maybe you don't see a whole lot, but you get an idea of basically their style. Jose went in there to critique and judge. What is this? Well, I almost tripped and fell on these water jugs. Listen, that's her door. That's her door, her water jug. She could stack up anything she wants. That doesn't mean it's bad. It was her by herself. She knows where that water jug was in the corner. This is her place. So what, Jose? And if she wants 50,000 pencils on her desk because she picks up souvenirs everywhere she travels, that's on her. Maybe you was hating because she's been to a lot of places you've never been. She has a little up on you. Was you a little jealous because she had 50 pencils up there from 50 different places? And you like, oh, this woman is world travel, so she has a one-up on you when it comes to going different places? Is that what you were jealous of? Because you like to be one-up on everybody. I think you always want to be the one that excels in the room. But when it comes to traveling the world, you don't have her beat when it comes to that. You know, now you like, do you really need this? She's proud of that. You should have been like, oh, this is so cute. Where you been? You know, let me see some of the places you've been based on the souvenirs. Wow, how was it there? No, you like, do you need all these? You know, you don't need all these pencils. You're not going to write all of it. Instead of looking at the travel part of it, instead of pulling out the positive, you wanted to see the negative. And her having a bunch of pencils. It's her pencils. If she want to put it in an office somewhere in a drawer out of sight and just keep 3 or 4 out, then that's her. But you want to change people too much instead of accepting, Jose, what that person is like and how they can complement your life. Okay? Because I'm sure, no, I'm positive there's things you need to change within yourself. So, yeah, he came in really critiquing. Even when she mentioned the board in his place and he said, "Oh, your board is not like this," he looked at her like something was wrong with her. No, she's not retarded. You looking at her like she's crazy. Look, that's just not her. Oh, we'll get something like this for you. Everything doesn't have to match you, Jose. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use that R word. I don't want to offend anyone. I mean, don't act like something is unusual or abnormal with her. Sidebar, because I don't want anyone to take that comment in the wrong way. That's the old word we used to say, like, back in the day. I'm old, remember? So, yeah, but that's not to offend, because that's not me. So, I apologize if anyone took that word the wrong way. Okay, I digress. But, do not look like something's wrong. Because everybody is not going to do the same thing the exact same way. And if they don't do it like you, Jose, doesn't make them a bad person. Not at all. They're just unique and they have a different way of doing things. They don't have to match you. They don't have to match you. You want someone that'll compliment you. You don't need an identical twin. You don't need a clone of you. One Jose is enough. Okay. So they got into that, and with Pastor Cal, they basically, let me see. Because there was something I wanted to make sure I noted with them too that I don't want to forget. Well, with Pastor Cal going over, that's basically what he was saying to them. He met them going over how they like, you know, one another. He started talking about the spending and, you know, talking about what, you know, I guess her wanting to travel and being spontaneous, and, you know, she saw that globe that she just goes in and pick a place of where she's going next. That is exciting. That's a thrill. That is spontaneous and great. And if you have great finances and everything is paid, I think it's something that you can afford to do once a year. I think you should travel and have a great time. You're so afraid that it's going to take you outside of your credit score or have $1 less than you should in your savings. No. Okay. So, yeah, Pastor Cal basically told him, we matched you for a reason. It's great that you have someone like Rachel, and then you can, you know, do the same in balance with her where she's lacking. You can help her. You don't got to match her with you, but you can help her along the way on dealing with her finances. But at the same time, Pastor Cal told him, you need somebody like this. He needs someone to spruce him up and be a little adventurous and do things, and, you know, outside of his ordinary rigid schedule. So it's great. He needs a Rachel in his life. And another thing, did Rachel admit that they consummated the marriage? When she sat at that table last week and said, "Oh, my brain goes with my heart. I'm waiting on doing that." Then you tell Pastor Cal you consummated it. Did I hear that right? He said, it's great. Don't pull the brakes. Don't stop the brakes. Go ahead and move with the relationship. You know, let it flow naturally, but bring your brake pads. I'm like, old girl ain't want no brake pads. Remember you wanted to throw the condoms out the luggage bag, girl? Those the brake pads that you need to be having. Don't be, till you get to know this man and do some things and build your marriage and make sure this is really who you want. Don't worry about a baby, because you was throwing them out the luggage before the honeymoon, saying you can't make babies without these. Take the condoms out. Pastor Cal saw that. So yeah, he said we don't need no accidents. Okay, go throughout this without, yeah. Okay, we don't want to pull a last season with Paige and Chris. No. So, yeah. So, hopefully they can get that together. And that's my advice for you guys. Now, we are going to move over to Gil and Mirla. The highlight of her entire apartment, and she liked where they stayed, and she very well should, because the way Mirla carries on, I would have thought she was in a lavish 5-acre property house, you know, absolutely amazing, large pool, large big rooms, you know, something maybe similar to Ryan's place. I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that at all. You know, the most money she has in her place is in that closet. In that closet with a number of red bottoms that she don't even know how many she has. So the 70,000 that Gil quoted that was in that closet, I'm like, nah, bro, she probably got that just in shoes alone. Okay, so if you know the way you carry on, you should be in a really nice large house, not be so much on things instead of more bigger investments like your home. You know, you do all that bragging. I was not impressed with your place, darling. Was anybody else? Let me know. Let me know. Was it me? So yeah, you got to work on that. Things, Mirla, your home should have been better. Your home should have been better. Yeah, to me. The way you carry on. You know, yeah. And tone your nose down. You got to stop that. Now, the introduction to the dog, you know, yeah, she wasn't even so much feeling that when they got to Gil's place. Hype. Producer said, do you know Gil's dog's name? It's not that hard. The man said it like a couple times. You was not paying attention because you was not interested in him. But are you really interested in Gil? Are you really interested in getting to know him? Now, Gil shared about his father, which I love because it said a lot for me and it said a lot for with Gil's dad. Because, you know, anyone that knows me knows I'm very, you know, I love my blackness, very pro-black, you know, conscious. You know, Dad was a revolutionary. Dad was conscious. Dad, you know, I wish he was still alive because I would have loved to see him and get his advice on this situation right here. Dad, Gil said he had Marcus Garvey on the wall. He had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and he said he put himself on the wall. He said when people came by, he was like, these are 4 great men. Dad said, look, I'm great too. But the men he had on there, I was like, all right, Daddy. Conscious brother. I'm sure, you know, he imparted that in his sons. And if he, because Gil, I believe he died when Gil was young, I think 14. So if he didn't tell him a lot about who these great men were, I'm sure Gil took the time to find out later. He remembered those pictures. And so I'm sure Dad imparted a lot in him. So, you know, I think Gil, you know, has a lot upstairs when it comes to historical great men. Just history in general, you know, black people and the struggles of black people, which I love that. So I'm glad, you know, to hear that was, you know, I found out a little bit about that. That meant a lot to me. Now, what I didn't like is when he said, you remind me a lot of my dad, an expression on her face. Like she was offended. Like, what's that look? What's that look, Mirla? I'm really curious to know the men that Mirla dated in the past. Was Gil the darkest man she's ever been with? A lot of times we have certain prejudices and things within our own race. And color struck and all that. Blacks, Caribbeans, Latinos, we have these issues. Just like whites have issues with other whites, you know, and other ethnic groups among the white race. So we have these things. And that's been historically an issue. So I'm wondering if that's an issue as to why Mirla has a problem kissing Gil. It may be things issue she got going on within her. That little expression, she seemed to be offended until, you know, he said, no, I'm talking about he had himself on the wall like you like to have yourself on the wall. Then she like, oh, okay. Yeah, we got that in common. I'm like, maybe it's just me. Let me know if anybody else felt a little some kind of way with that, because I don't know, rubbed me a little off. So Pastor Cal, get on into it. Had that conversation, the communication, the vibe, the you know, you two interested in each other. He said, yeah, the affection, they touch, you know, and I see how she moves into him. She holds his hand, you know, that kind of connection. But I don't know what's so hard with the kiss. This man is not bad looking. I don't know what it is with her. I don't buy that 3 dates crap, because it's past the 3 dates. This is a week married and you still don't feel it's an issue. So you can't use that excuse no more. You want to wait. Now you're just saying you wait. Then she want to say, if you keep kissing that dog, you're going to be kissing me. Okay. I get that. No kissing dogs. I'm not cool with that either. But this is your husband. All the nice things that he did from you on the honeymoon, just feeling comfortable enough with him, period, which it seems like you are, doesn't warrant a little peck on the lips. It didn't have to be done too deep. Just a peck on the lips. Something's gone. Even Pastor Cal is studying that. And Gil said, if this continues, because she can wait all the way up to decision day and not kiss him, and not feel a need to kiss your husband, not kiss, that's a problem. Something's deeper going on with Mirla. And it's not cool. You know, more than she wants to say. And the expression on Gil's face was a man that looked pretty hurt. Because you can't show me how you feel about me well enough to even kiss me. I'm not even saying sex, to even kiss me. Makes him feel a little unwanted and rejected. And I saw the look on his face, because Pastor Cal got down to it. Like, why? Don't put this surface level like it, you know, it's no big deal. She should tell you. I guess she feels the same way. No, you need to know she feels a certain way. She needs to tell you that. You shouldn't go guessing throughout this entire, all the way up to decision day. I think she's into me. I think she's physically attracted to me. She needs to let you know, and she needs to show you. Period. And he said if it goes on to decision day without a kiss, he can't stay married to her. And I really don't blame him. Because it's something is to be said about that with her. What is it about me you really don't like, or you not feeling like that? Because if the chemistry really isn't there physically, don't have me waste my time with you. Don't act like we just buddies and we cool and chill and, you know, but there's something blocking you. She needs to talk a little bit more, because I need to see what's going on deep down inside with that. It's a problem. It's a problem. So, something's going on with our girl Mirla. And, you know, Gil is very patient, but he may not be that patient. I think he's worked very well with her up until this point from what she's given out. I think they got a real cool vibe going on, but I don't know if it's just going to stay in the friend zone. Because right now, she's doing friend zone. So, I hope that improves. I think over time, you know, you can get used to someone's pets. Not necessarily mean she's going to be walking them. But we need to get into that connection with her and Gil more so than the dog. He needs to get into that. So I hope that says a lot. Now, Bo and Johnny. Do you all check out the unfiltered after? It had Gil, Johnny, and Zach. That after, that unfiltered told a lot more of what went on this particular episode. Especially when it came to Johnny, things that we necessarily didn't see. But from what we did see in this episode, they go to their apartments. They pretty much like their apartments. Johnny goes over to Bo's place, and he You know, he liked the feel of her apartment. He said it was her, it was organized, you know, but it was nice. It was Bo. I think she had a nice, cute place. They went over to his, you know, basic guy stuff, video games. He had his little lightsabers. They play. I think they're really good when it comes to interacting in that way. They're comfortable. They can fool around with one another. The yellow, I like the yellow accents in his apartment because guys, you really don't think with yellow, but that yellow with the black and white looked really nice. I like that. So she said he needs some help with organizing, but I can do it for him. So they got into that. Now, when Bo got, when it was, I'm trying to figure out what part this was at. I guess, yeah, this was in their place. He said that, is this your bedroom or ours? I don't know why he asked that question. You're married. If you see a master bedroom, you would think that that's ours. He said, I would hope, you know, we would sleep together in it. I don't know why he asked that question. That stuck out to me. Like, why would you say is that yours? Was you hoping she say yeah because you want to be in a room by yourself, or do you want to be with your wife? So I'm not too sure what that was about, but we find out when you fast forward now to Pastor Cal. Johnny has a problem with, and we find out that this was even during the honeymoon, with her childlike behavior. He said she's very giddy. She like, and does all these kitty gestures that he doesn't feel comfortable with. So we find out that there's more than just not bathing, not hygiene. Well, she keeps the bum clean because she got that little bidet. So she I think that was her way of telling Johnny, well, see, I'm clean. My bum should stay clean. So you don't have to worry about that. I think that was her way of putting in there to let Johnny know I do stay clean and I take care of areas that should be. You got to still shower and bathe on a regular, Bo. But I digress from that because we realize there's another issue. Her gestures, her way of expressing joy, comes out very childlike, and it can be uncomfortable to him. I don't want to be like devil's advocate, but to a certain extent, I can understand that. People express themselves in different ways, and I think a lot of that has to do with Bo has no problem being physical or having sex. As she mentioned before, she's had a one-night stand before when she was younger. To her, having sex isn't as much as connecting emotionally. But this is the thing. It's not just physical or wanting to have sex with Johnny. It's an emotional connection. That's something that she may not have had in the past. Maybe relationships didn't last as long. So physical and getting over that hump was just something she may have did just to satisfy the guy, or because she wanted to, because she was attracted, but it never got to the point when she maybe got as serious with someone. And Johnny is someone that she has wanted for a long time. And I think she's afraid not to mess that up because this has been a long time coming. You know, if someone you've always had a crush on for years, it can be a celebrity crush. It can be someone that you've been, you know, crushing on since high school, college, and, you know, you went on through life, and then you happen to see 10 years later, you see this person and your heart is still fluttering again, and you like, oh my God. And then y'all might actually go on a date, and you may be getting somewhere, and you don't want to mess it up. Now, I don't think that Bo is one that's comfortable with deep emotions, especially when it comes to the emotional side, connecting with someone and then bringing in the sexual part. I think that a defense mechanism is to revert to childlike ways. And that's a way kind of making her feel more comfortable with situations that may feel a little she may be a little nervous or uncomfortable with. Not that she doesn't want to kiss him, but she's so excited that she's actually has this person she was crushing on, and they're not just dating, they're married. That is unheard in Married at First Sight history, to have crushed on someone so long and then they brought those two together in marriage. So this is a first. So that's huge. And I think she's nervous with that. Everyone does not, every woman, maybe even man, you know, works their sexuality in a way that shows confidence. And I don't think she's confident in that side of her. From what Johnny had said, and this may have been in the Unfiltered episode, I'm trying to think if he mentioned it in this, she has a level, I think it was an Unfiltered, but he talked about her level of self-esteem and how she always wants things so perfect and have people see her in a certain image. But with him, she wants it to work out. She wants that communication. She wants him to tell her how she feels. She felt bad when he was honest, because Pastor Cal wanted him to tell her that. And a lot of times in relationships, we are not that brutally honest. We really don't want to hurt the person that we care about, but we go on for years not having expressed exactly what may have irked us about that person. Not that we don't care about them, not that we don't love them, but certain things irritate them and we tend to move on and don't talk about it. Then it may compound. And in the future, because you didn't talk to that person about it and things didn't change, you keep that person out of comfort, but then you wind up cheating or doing something in the future, or, you know, bringing someone else on the side because you didn't deal with this with your partner. So I'm glad he got it out so they can talk about it and she can maybe express and deal with it with one of the experts on how to, and Dr. Viviana, this is her area of expertise, so she may get into that when they start talking about it a little bit more, and getting into intimacy and how to deal with discomforts of certain situations. Many people, you know, sexuality is not just about the intimate act. It also is, you know, you can ooze sexuality and have a connection with someone and they feel that sexual chemistry and you didn't say anything vulgar. It doesn't have to be anything explicit, but it just shows in your chemistry and how you conduct yourself and the walk and the confidence, and, you know, you'll see that. And that part she's not that comfortable with. So he wants a woman that's confident in herself, her sexuality, to bring out that passion in him, to make him feel like he's a grown woman and not a little girl. So even though Pastor Cal was like, that's his issue, he got to deal with, that's not you, that's how you express joy. But that part I so much totally didn't agree with Pastor Cal, because that is something that she's going to have to still deal with, because he doesn't want to feel like he's intimate with a child. You know, all the silly, giddy stuff you don't want in certain incidences, you know, intimate, romantic moments. You don't want to feel like somebody's acting like a little child. You don't. It makes you feel uncomfortable, and it will be a turnoff. So she's going to have to work through that and get confident in that area to make him want her more in that type of way, if you get what I'm saying. So that was a very uncomfortable situation for Bo and for Johnny, but it's something that has to work out, because these are the tough questions that many of us may have been married for years and divorced and still never spoke on these things with our exes, with the ones we're in relationships with now. We don't go through these things because we have a problem with transparency. And this is something that we have to do more, I think, in relationships. Be honest and accept that and work through it and talk about it, because it's not to really necessarily hurt the person, but to bring light and deal with it. Because it may be issues with you that you should have dealt with long before you got into any relationships within yourself, and you haven't worked out those things. So these are things I think Bao has to work out within herself as well. And Johnny has to also learn that little things are going to happen that may trigger things you may not like. You can't just leave when you just getting home, Johnny, and stay in your own place because you feel uncomfortable with something. You got to stick things out. You can't just get up and go because it's too hot in the kitchen. Bruh, no. You got to stay there, talk it out, duke it out, deal with the problems. To walk away from your wife and you just came back from your honeymoon and you don't want to stay with her, that's hurtful. You cannot deal. You got to be in it. You got to be in it to win it and get through the tough questions, the tough processes of getting to really know someone and not turning your back on them and not wanting to deal with that. So Val was right on that when she said it about Johnny. I need to know that you're here and you're 100% committed, because that was weak. And that's why you're always on Tinder swiping left, because the minute something happens, oop, I don't like that, bye. Oop, I don't like that, bye. You will never have anyone. You will never have anyone when you keep running, Johnny. So that is a no-no. You got to prepare. That's not marriage. You got to deal with the long haul, and you got to deal with the problems that come with it. It's going to be good and bad. Not always sunshine, flower, and roses, okay? Believe me. Okay, so, yeah. So that was about it on them. Now, Killer Kayla. Like I said when I started, that damn Clorox wipe ain't did nothing to you, sis. Michaela, I see why your sisters always kept you under wraps. They said that they had you under their arm and was hoping that, you know, they can pass off to Zach, because I guess they had to. She was fragile. Michaela has to really deal with the loss of her father and that abandonment issue. Sis, rewind. They got together. They brought their dogs together. Dogs happy, kicking it. You know, that was nice. He came with a gift. They were happy to see each other. He was like, I'm going to make it up to my wife, and I'm going to make it up when these cameras get off. I'm like, Zach, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Go ahead, Zach. So Zach was ready to get into it. I'm cool, COVID free. We gonna get busy. But yeah, so you know she was happy with that. So I love the fact that they got back together. That was exciting. Now, okay. Fast forward, it's the next morning. Zach got up to take the dog to doggy daycare. He evidently didn't want to wake Michaela, didn't want to wake her. Found out after, well, I'm gonna get into that, but I'll tell you after this. Didn't want to wake her. I said to myself, I guarantee you, at some point she told him, when I'm asleep, don't bother me. Come to find out later, that's what she said, you know. So 7:15, he goes. She gets up an hour later. 1 hour later. Zach, he's not there. She closes the door. I mean, one of the rooms, I guess she looked, closed the door, came out, has a Clorox wipe, knocked that Clorox wipe, flipped, livid, because he's not there. Went on in the room and packed her stuff. He just said to her that night before, when he got in, how do you handle arguments? Are you the type to leave? I would be pissed if I just asked you that question, and no sooner than I asked it, you packing up and you leaving. And then she gonna cuss him out and say, you a MFing lie. MFing lie. I was not going at no 9 something. Yes, you was. Because they showed up on the screen 1 hour later, which would have made it 8:15. Okay, let's say 45 minutes. You packed up your little stuff. It was around 9 o'clock that you was gone. You rolled out. You rolled out when you hollered and he wasn't there. What made you think he was gone forever? Then come to find out, he texted you and told you. You was like, okay, I don't know, because he wasn't in constant contact. He didn't come back fast enough for you. I don't know. And Unfiltered, he mentioned that she told me she don't like being woken up in the morning, to the point where he was scared. So he didn't do that. But he said he sent a text. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know why she felt she had to pack up and leave, because the man was only gone for a couple hours. And the way you was so enraged, it was scary. It was scary, Michaela. You was pissed off. He couldn't even talk to you now. Zach cannot really, I don't think he can handle too much high-strung emotion. I could tell when they first got married. I spoke on this. I hope she likes me. He doesn't like rejection. He wanted to be accepted. And when she was rejecting him on the couch, she flinched when he tried to come and console her. When Pastor Cal got there, I could tell he was like, that rejection he can't take. I'm gonna leave her alone. I tried. Pastor Cal told him, you have to, you gotta go. It's not like, and women tend to do that. We say certain things, but we want the opposite. Sometimes, don't ask me why we do it, but we tend to act like we so upset, but she really wanted him to console her. She wanted him to reassure that it'll be okay. I love the fact that, you know, Pastor Cal got into the nitty gritty. Number one, you got to stand there and listen. You got to calm down because she's already upset because he was getting a little high strung. He wanted him to take it down a little bit. Zach, explain to her how you felt, what happened so she can hear it. And it came out like, it came out to her that he's gone. He's gone. I don't know. She couldn't remember he was taking the dog to daycare. I don't know. But the fact is, you're not here. There are going to be many moments that he goes somewhere, Michaela. Why would you freak out like that? And then she got into her father and how he was everything to her and how he left her. This is some crucial, deep-rooted issues that she has on abandonment. That's why the sisters had to be around her and cater to her so much, because that really broke her. Sis needs to work on that. You have to. Because every little thing is going to set her off. And because it's triggering something in Zach that he experienced from past relationships, that's why he questioned her on dealing with these things, because he didn't want to have to go through that again. And she lied. Now there's a trust issue he has with his emotions with her too. He's not going to trust her word because she went back on this. She don't know if he's going to leave her because he didn't, I guess, communicate enough. And when he was gone for those 2 hours. It's crazy because she didn't even give him a chance. Like an hour, hour and a half, you pack up and leave, that he's gone. That's unreasonable. He wasn't gone for a day. He wasn't gone for 2 days. A couple hours and you flip. That's insane to me. I'm sorry. It's insane. I'm not saying Zach is not perfect. I'm sure he has things he has to work out with as a man. He has to work through in handling things better, maybe communicating better. But that was unreasonable. This particular episode was crazy on Michaela's part. She got to deal with that. She has to. She's very high strung, very emotional, and will go off. And the trauma she faced from losing her father is so deep. This is going to take significant counseling on being able to handle her and these abandonment issues. And Pastor Cal told her, let him, if he wants to be there for you and work through this, because she said, I don't want him to have to be able to deal with it. She knows she's a handful. She knows she has problems. But this is your husband now. Let him help you work through it. Let him comfort and console you. But think, honey, this is not your dad leaving you. This was not abandonment, but that's what she saw. So that is going to be a rough one. Yeah, that's gonna be a significant one. Yeah, and to recoil and act as if to look at Zach crazy, to not that level of not trusting him, rejection and neglect, and that whole situation and body language she was giving Zach really scared him. It made him coil back. But he has to handle that. They both have to work through things emotionally with each other. So we got a little taste of what's about to come. And I hope these experts can help them work through it, because it's deeper and it goes way before these two got together. The issues they have to work out. Michaela, get therapy, honey. This is serious. And I get it. No one likes to feel abandoned. We have a lot of things that we're dealing with, a lot of engrams from the past that we have to work through. And we can't do it always by ourselves, because it will absolutely destroy relationships in the future. So I hope sis works it out. So Okay, didn't mean for this video to go that long, but it was, you know, some crucial areas that I really wanted to touch on tonight. Please give me comments in the comments to let me know what you thought about this episode, about the things that I said and how you viewed these couples and what went on. Some things that I may have missed and didn't think of. Yeah, so we can have some real discussions on this and share it, ladies, gentlemen. I really want feedback. Thank you so much. Until next week, we'll see what goes on with this gang in Houston. This is your sis, Kathy Muhammad. Stay blessed. Stay fabulously and amazingly your authentic self. And let no one steal your joy. Until next time.